Okay. First of all, in case you haven't heard, Ohad, my dear cousin, had a baby girl this morning. Coffee. And I had a baby girl last Friday night. So that was nice. Baruch Hashem. So Baruch Hashem, that's good. My brother's learning for some difficult exam, so I'm giving him a bit of a break. I prepared here like a few nice ideas, basically based on Emunah. I'm going to connect you piece things together for you with respect to the parashot that we just read last week and this week, unless you're reading something else that I'm not reading. So last week we read Parashat Korach. Is that right? Same for you? Okay, that's good. So Parashat Korach we read last week. Korach follows after Shalach. In Parashat Shalach, Moshe Rabbeinu sent the Meraglim, the spies, to Eretz Yisrael, and they spied the country and the story. The end of the parasha finishes with Parashat Tsitsit, with the third parasha that we read every day about Tsitsit in Shema Yisrael. So there's a famous question that's asked quite a few times throughout the Torah, is why we have a connection between one parasha and another parasha. Why are the two put together? Ideally, you can't say that the Torah is a chronological order, because it's not. It isn't always put in a chronological order. Apart from Sefer Bereshit, but even then it's, pretty much messed up chronologically. But with respect to the rest of the Torah, you can definitely not say chronological, because there's plenty of parashot where one happens before the other. So what's the order here? So the same question applies. Why is Korach put next to the parasha of Tsitsit? Okay, why did Kadosh Baruch Hu tell Moshe Rabbeinu stick Parashat Tsitsit in the middle, between the spies and Korach? Right? Are you with me? Nice question. Yeah. Okay, anyone has an answer? Okay. Fine. Okay. Okay. So that's good if I would say Korach is next to the Parsha of the Meraglim. But we're talking about the Tzitzit. Why is Tzitzit in the middle? Look at me. What's he done wrong? Yeah, very good. So with respect to the Talit, that's brought down, I think also by Rashi, but a few Parashim bring down the story of the Tchelet, that they wore garments of Tchelet, and they came to Moshe and complained, why do I need a Tchelet and a Tzitzit if my whole garment is made of Tchelet? Very good. But the problem with that is that because of some story that's brought down in a Midrash, you can say such a thing. Like, it's not brought down in the Torah. It's a Midrash. It's something very shuli with respect to what we're learning. HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't bring down the story of the Tchelet in the Torah. It's brought down in the Midrash. So is that enough of a reason? It's an idea, but it's not enough. I don't feel it's enough of a reason. I mean, it needs to be firm. So I'm going to go very, very deep, and I'm going to try and connect it Korach to Tsitsit, and then when we're done with that and we've got more time, I'll connect Chukat to Korach, and then you'll enjoy the parasha even more. Okay? Fine. So if anyone reads Rav Farchi's weekly sheet on the parasha, it's very interesting. Stam Kacha. He writes really nicely. He brought down an interesting idea from the Netziv HaKadosh on Parshat Tsitsit. There was a question among Chazal whether the Sefer Kohelet should be included in the 24 Sfarim of the Tanakh. There are many psukim in Kohelet which don't quite collaborate, or basically are, full force, head-on collision, steer out to what's written in the Torah. And it was very difficult for them to accept it. So how could it be that how can they add Kohelet to the Chafdalit Sifrei Tanakh if it's a contradiction to the Torah?
If you assume that you don't fully understand the intention or what it means.
Very good. So what they did is that they delved into the meaning of Kohelet, and then they came up with a true understanding of the psukim. One of the most troublesome psukim we find in Kohelet is Yud Aleph Tet. It begins like this: Smach bechor b'yaldotecha. Okay? Be happy, lad, with your childhood. And it ends off and says, V'halech b'darkei libecha. Go in the ways of your heart. Okay? If anyone can find me a contradicting pasuk in Parshat Tsitsit to V'halech b'darkei libecha. Lo taturu. Lo taturu achrei levavachem v'achrei nechem. So how can you write such a thing in Kohelet? It's a contradiction. It doesn't coincide. Okay? Very good.
Unless v'yadata v'shivata levavecha. So if you fix your heart. So if you tuned your heart properly, so you can go after your heart.
If your heart is tuned properly?
Yes.
Yeah, and why v'lo taturu achrei levavachem? And if your heart isn't tuned properly?
But why do we say v'yadata v'shivata levavecha? And what is chovot alvavot?
Very good.
You tune your heart.
Fine. So we're talking about whether the heart is correct or the heart is wrong. Whether you've tuned it or not. Okay. Of what? No, that's the end of the pasuk. The end of the pasuk is V'halech b'darkei libecha. The problem is not with the next pasuk. The next pasuk's fine. We're worried about these words. These words don't fit in. They don't lo mistadrim. Okay, they don't correlate. There is definitely no positive correlation between the two. There is severe negative correlation between that and v'lo taturu achrei levavachem. It's a clear commandment. V'lo taturu achrei levavachem. Who? Shlomo Melech sarcastic? Yeah, like what? When he finds looking for a wife, Matzai Shamash Tov, he's talking about he's being sarcastic. No. The wisest man on earth is never sarcastic. He might be very vague and misunderstood, but he's not sarcastic. There's definitely something deep behind this. So there's this huge machloket, how to understand Kohelet. Rabbi Shmuel brought down in Vayikra Rabbah Chaf Chet Aleph. He says that there's two pesukim are talking about two different ideas with respect to going after your heart. He says like this: there's a way of going after your heart when your heart has a desire, it has a reason, it has a purpose. Then it says Halech b'darkei libecha.
Ve'afta b'chol levavcha.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, if we say b'kriyat Shema ve'afta b'chol
Elokecha b'chol levavcha b'chol nafshecha b'chol ma'odecha. Beseder. But he doesn't say v'lo taturu. Very good. That's how Rabbi Shmuel says. When your heart is in the right place, you can pursue what your heart wants and go and go and go and go. He says, Lech b'darkei libecha. Go in the path. When the heart is put in the path, It's leading you somewhere. You can go in the path. You can follow along. Velota turu doesn't mean you're following your heart. It means you're exploring. You're checking things out. What does that mean? It means you don't have a direction. You're checking out what everybody else thinks is good, or what everyone else thinks is right. You look how other people dress, how other people behave, how other people talk. What do they like? What do they not like? What's good? What's right? Velota turu is you're exploring. Halech b'darkei libecha is a pursuit. When you're pursuing what your heart wants, then you're going b'darkei libecha. Velota turu is exploring. Okay? Huh? What desire? Depends what your desire is. Right, but when they're right, when your desire is correct, you care what anyone else thinks. That's not true. Come on. If someone's got wrong desires, yeah, he knows when he's doing something wrong, so he'll be careful that other people shouldn't see what he's doing. Or if he doesn't know if what his desires are completely correct, he'll try and figure out what other people think about what he wants or what he desires. When you desire something and you know it's 100% correct, or you know what you're doing is right, you will go against the current. You will fight everybody on earth until you get what you want. Do you not agree? Yes, that's very true. But how that this is we'll see that soon. We'll see that soon. We'll discuss that nakuda exactly what you're asking, Eli. But hold on, okay? Don't jump ahead. You'll cut my share too short, and then we'll finish in quarter of an hour. So 1 second, okay? Now the Netziv, he goes even further, and he says, why does the Torah need to mention this nakuda, this importance of being yourself? Dafka in the parsha of Tsitsit. Why does the Torah say, do the Tsitsit and don't start faffing around? Be Eli, be Meir, don't be somebody else, be who you are. Why does the Torah say this specifically by Tsitsit? So the Netziv, he brings down from the Gemara in Shabbat Kuf Yud Bet Amud Bet, the description that the Gemara brings down. There's quite a few Tanaim that each one had special mitzvot, and they would go after these mitzvot, and they would be mahader, and even if it was difficult, they would do these mitzvot. 1 second. Why is there we go. They would search after these mitzvot specifically. So why do they do that? So they explain that these mitzvot were their ticket to Olam Haba. So the Netziv says that each person should choose for himself the mitzvah that he most connects to. Yeah. If you remember, there was a gadol called Rav Pinchas Scheinberg, who used to wear 100 forms of tzitzit every single day. Okay? There's many forms of machloket between the Rishonim and Achronim. What is the correct measurement of tzitzit, the correct garment, the correct knot, what type of thread, what is considered chelet, what's not considered chelet. He wore shoulder pads of American football players on his shoulders, and on that he put 100, if not more, pairs of tzitzit. He would walk around all day long with these tzitzit. This was the mitzvah that he had, that he was mahader with. Okay, that was what his heart chose, and he desired this, and he went with it all his life. Okay, until his old age of 100 and something, he was wearing these tzitzit. Okay, this is what the parsha is telling us. Choose a mitzvah and pursue it. Go in this derech the whole time. So that is the end of Parshat Shelach. Parshat Tsitsit. With respect to Korach, there's a lot of Mefarshim that try to discuss the machloket. Okay, but al pi asod, a lot of people say that there is no way that we can completely, fully understand the machloket of Korach. There is even an argument whether he will come to Tchiyat HaMetim and he will have a tikkun or not. That's how far it goes. But let's look at something. Okay, what? Question? No? Um, at the end of the day, the Torah mentions this argument quite clearly. Okay, he names quite a few pratim. Korach had 250, gedolim. He had a lot of friends and supporters, a lot of family that got involved in his argument. Okay, and the Torah wants to teach us exactly how to act with respect to kin'ah and machloket. Okay, so the Mefarshim explain that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, and he gave each and every person a tafkid in his life that he has to fulfill. So much so, it says like this: U'lechol beria u'beria ho'id tafkida v'shlichuta ba'olam hazeh. Each person, each creation has his own tafkid, his own job in this world. V'al kol echad la'avod et Hashem al mekomo u'mechono. Every person has to serve God in his place and in his format. והאדם הפשוט הממלא את שליחותו בעולם, חשוב הוא לפני בורא עולם כאדם הגדול בעבודתו הגדולה. A person who fulfills his job, his tafkid in this world in its complete form is just as great or is just as important in the eyes of God as the greatest person of the generation who fulfilled his job. So Meir Gabbai and Gilad and Maor and Eli, when you fulfill your tafkid in your entirety, you're just like Reb Chaim Kanievsky, who learns 17, 18 hours a day and answers questions to all of Bnei Israel all over the world. In God's eyes, you're exactly the same. Okay? Harav HaKadosh Rav David Milelov, he explains the idea, same idea. He says like this, that a person can be the one who stokes the fire, and he is got the same chashivut, same respect, so to speak. He's considered the same as the Kohen Gadol who goes into the holies of holies on Yom Kippur, because he's fulfilling his task in this world in its entirety. Okay, so what's happening here? Korach, he looked at the hierarchy of Bnei Israel in the Midbar in the problem in the aspect of Elot HaTuru. He was looking at Moshe Rabbeinu received the monarchy. He was the king of Bnei Israel. Okay, Aharon, his brother, received the holy priesthood, and he wanted that position. He wanted what's great because he saw the respect, he saw the glory that they were given, he saw the prestige and the honor, he saw Velot HaTuru. He was looking at what everyone else was giving, what everyone else was being shared. Korach, on his stature, was a very, very great man, and he was exceedingly wealthy. Okay, they say that Korach found one of the 3 treasures that Yosef HaTzadik hid. Now, when we're talking about treasures that Yosef HaTzadik hid, we're talking about 1/3 of the wealth of the world. Okay, he puts Facebook in his little pocket. Okay, 58 billion is nothing compared to Korach. Okay, ridiculous amount of money, and it's all buried underground right now. So if you want to start looking for it, you can start digging. But the nakuda is that he was looking for something else that he didn't have. It's not his. It wasn't his tafkid. That wasn't why God created him. He wasn't made to be a king or a kohen gadol. He was a massive tzaddik, and he messed up because of this nakuda of velot haturu. He was searching for something which did not belong to him. So here we have a connection between Korach and the last parasha of Tsitsit. He's put specifically in between because you're meant to be yourself. You're meant to be you. Your tafkid, even though it might be quiet and silent, without prestigiousness and without the honor and glamour of being a king, or without the glamour of being a kohen gadol, but what God situated for you is yours. You cannot disagree with that. If Korach would have been more careful with his ben Adam lechavero, with not being jealous of Aharon and Moshe, then his ben Adam lemakom would have been perfect, and he would also have got that level of olam haba, just like Aharon or Moshe would have got. But he messed up this nekuda. So that's when we have a connection between the two. Okay? Beseda? We're carrying on? Yofi. Yeah, kina, ta'ava, kavod, motzi'in et ha'adam min ha'olam. Exactly. Perfect.
And how's the exact wording of Kohelet?
The exact wording of the entire pasuk.
No, of Kohelet, yes.
Okay, so the pasuk in Kohelet, I'm going to load that for you, is where is the verse from? In Yud Aleph Tet. So this smach. 1 second, let me just look it up here. Ouch. Why did it not go down? Okay. 1 second.
בדרכי לבביך תלך.
Yeah, that's how it finishes off. Okay, it's searching. I'll be there in a second. Okay, we're gonna carry on a second. No. 1 second. Where are you looking this? Have you got Kohelet in front of you? Okay, so look at Perek Tet. Perek Yud Aleph, Pasuk Tet, sorry. Yud Aleph Tet. Yeah? Yeah. V'yativcha libecha, and your heart will be good with you, b'mei bechorotecha. Okay, in your youth. V'halech b'darkei libecha, it go in the ways of your heart, ובמראה עיניך, and what your eyes see, ודע כי על כל אלה יביאך האלוהים במשפט. God is bringing you to this with justice, so to speak. This is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from you. When your decision is correct, when you're going b'darkei libecha, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu is guiding you. When you're not going b'darkei libecha, then you're not going with God's way, and then you'll lose everything just like Korach did. Beseder? Yeah. What? Yeah, but the end of it is, so to speak, good. But the problem here is with the eyes. The problem is with the eyes, because the heart can only desire what the eye sees. Okay, I have in my father-in-law's shul in Kiryat Sefer. He has a friend who's got a shoe store. Okay, all his kids notice what shoes you're wearing. All of them. Okay, so like 9 boys or something like that, and they all notice what shoes you're wearing. Yeah, if you've got new shoes, where'd you buy them? Where'd you go? Where? They know everything about shoes. Why? Because that's what they see. Okay, when your eyes are seeing where you're going, so to speak, yeah, then as it says in Kohelet, then it's fine, okay, because what your eyes see, but that's mar'eh, that's looking in one direction, so to speak. Velotaturu, okay, you're exploring what he's got and what car he's driving and where does he live and what clothes he's wearing and where does he go on holiday and what about him and what about this guy. That's already exploring. That's not focusing on anything. Why? How are you translating this pasuk? I'm sorry. You're saying, but know that you're gonna have to pay your consequences. Yeah, fine. So I'm reading it differently. And know that when you do this correctly, when you're going b'darkei libecha and b'mar'ei einecha, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will bring you there in justice, because it will be deserving of it. It's not like he needs to be chesed with you and he has to be kind with you and you're going to get one on the head with it. At the end of the day, that's how Rabbi Ishmael explained it in Vayikra Rabbah. He's saying when your pursuit is correct, then go for it and God will help you get there. Okay? Okay, Yofi. We also find that the problem of Alot HaTuru and this chaos and this hate of Ben Adam Lechavero, a lot of people tell us, it's in Parnassa, you've got a shop and somebody else opens a shop right next door to you and is selling exactly the same products and is making it 1p cheaper because he bought it from China and it's not really worth it and he's taking there's a song we sing on B'Havdalah. כן? וחספנו, זרענו וחספנו ירבה כחול וככוכבים בלילה. Okay? Our children and our money, he will enumerate, he will multiply like sand. Okay? Can you count sand? No. Very good. No. You can't count sand. It's ridiculous. You'll spend hours doing nothing. Okay? You'll get nowhere. So why does it say Zar'enu v'chaspenu? Why is Zera next to Kesef? Why are your children next to your money? Why is that? So the famous explanation is like this. Okay? We had two kids. They went to the same school. They were both in Hasmonean Primary, Hasmonean High. They went to the same yeshiva. They weren't in the same kollel. Okay? One got married very young, okay, and he had, Baruch Hashem, bli anara, v'chen lekulam, 18 children, okay? They all got married quickly, and they all had between 15 and 17 children, okay? By the time the man was 90, he had nearly 3,000 descendants, okay? His dear friend, who went to Hasmonean Primary and Hasmonean High, and went to yeshiva and got married, he barely had 2 children with a lot of problems and a lot of difficulty. Okay? And his 2 dear children also had a lot of problems and difficulty having children. When he passed away, he barely had a minion of descendants coming to his funeral. Okay? Will you say that friend number 1 took from friend number 2's children? No, because there's no connection whatsoever. That's his children, and that's his children. That's what God gave him. That's what God gave him. You can't say that Reuben took Shimon's children. They have no connection whatsoever. So Zar'enu, just like our children belong to us, and that's what God gave us, Chaspenu is what God gave us. You can't say that, oh, he opened the shop next door to me and he took my money. It's not true. That's what God gave you. End of story. You cannot complain. That is where God pointed Aaron to be Kohen Gadol. So why is Korach complaining that I should have got the position? What are you talking about? It doesn't belong to you. Okay? Fine. So that is Korach and Chukat and Shalach. Now we're going to move on to this week's parasha, Chukat, and we're going to connect it to Korach. Okay? The Chizkuni, he's one of the Pirushim Rishonim on the Torah, and he writes at the beginning of the parasha, I'm just going to phrase the last sentence of what he says. He connects it. He's got a calculation. I don't completely understand the calculation because I don't understand the dates that he's written, and I didn't have too much time to check it up. But he writes the following. He says that the Torah brings down the parasha of Chukat with Para Aduma because Para Aduma is metaher tamemet. It purifies somebody who's got the tumah, the impurity of a dead person. And since people died with the machloket of Korach, so Kodesh Baruch Hu commanded us para uduma in order to purify this impurity. Okay? Now, I have a ridiculously strong question against this Chizkuni. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to think of it. Very good, Meir. You should give share.
Again, Meir, I couldn't understand what you said.
Meir said that other people died first. What do you mean? When the Meraglim went to Eretz Israel and they said Dibat Haaretz, and they spoke Lashon Hara B'Eretz Israel. God commanded, decreed 40 years of wandering through the desert, and everybody between the age of 20 and 60 is going to die on Tisha B'Av. Okay, die. That's thousands of people dead every single year. Okay, so why now are you worried about Tumat Met? What about last week's parasha? You know, but Boker Tov, where were you then? Why didn't put Shalach, then Chukat, and then Korach? Why do you put Chukat only after Korach? Doesn't make sense. I also have a further question, but I also found a problem with the question. Yeah. So the question is like this. Yeah. The first time people died was in Egypt during the Makat Choshech. Okay, 80% of the Jews died because they weren't ready to leave Mitzrayim. What's the problem with the question? Nearly.
No, that those that survived were Tmeim.
Very good. Tamamet. Yeah? But that's the question. What's the problem with the question?
What do you mean? That how they purify themselves for Kabbalat Torah?
How would they purify themselves for Kabbalat Torah? Very nice. I didn't think of that. Good question. But my question is like this. Para Aduma is coming to atone for Chet HaEgel. And when they were in Mitzrayim, they didn't do Chet HaEgel yet. So I can't say that it's coming to mechaper something from before it happened. Do you understand?
Okay.
Okay. So, but your question is still good. But how they purify themselves for Tamemet, for Kabbalat Torah? Very good. So I can't answer that question. But if I'm going to say that Tumat Met is purified by the afar of the paraduma, but before the paraduma they could have just gone to the mikveh and that's it, then maybe that's an answer. But it's a very good question. I have to ask my Rav. Okay, so the question stands. By Pashat Shalach, they already had a decree and they already had dead people, so Chukat can follow Korach. So I don't like this Chizkuni. Okay, so I literally took it out and I threw it out the window. Then I came up with this idea. I'm going to share it with you. It's not musmach. You don't have to accept it, just like the last idea you don't have to accept. But tell me what you think, okay? What was the nekudat hamachloket, the point of argument between Korach against Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron? What was he arguing about? What disturbed him? What? Making up appointments, right? Misha Karov Letzalachad, yeah? Very good. Okay, now I'm gonna explain what all three of you said and what Meir Mamash nailed on the head. Okay, Levi had 3 boys. Okay, like me, Gershon, Kehat, and Merari. Okay. Now, between the 3, for some reason I don't quite understand, but Kehat was chosen more than his elder brother Gershon. But Beseda, we're going to go with the flow. Kehat was chosen as the leader. After Kehat had 4 boys. Okay, Amram, Yitzhar, Chevron, and Uziel. Amram was the Gadol Hador, and after him was Moshe and Aharon. Okay, so Moshe became king and Aharon became Kohen Gadol. Now, after that, you need to appoint a Nasi for Shevet Levi. Now, the king can't be the Nasi because he's king. And the Kohen Gadol can't be Nasi because he's the Kohen Gadol. Yeah? So you need to choose a Nasi. Who's next after Amram? Is Yitzhar. Now, Yitzhar's older son was Korach. So he says, I should be the Nasi. But who was chosen instead?
Tzafan.
Elitzafan, the son of Uziel, the 4th son, not even number 3, number 4. He went, too far. Exaggerated. So he says, I disagree with your appointment. So if I disagree with your appointment in one account, I'm disagreeing with your appointment on all 3 accounts. So not that he wants to be Nasi, he even wants to be the Kohen Gadol. Okay, as Rashi says, He's mevatel everything. Don't agree with anything that you said. You're just making up for yourselves. Why are you taking all the prestige and pride and honor and money and everything else for yourself? You should divide it equally. Right. So that's his. No, if he was chosen as Nasi, he probably would have shut up and lived with it fine. But because he didn't get the Nisiut, he went for everything. You know, when you're arguing, when you go for a fight, you want to knock him out clean. You don't just want to knock out his teeth. Okay. So yeah, let's go. So that's his Nekudat HaMachloket, that's his point of argument against Moshe. But in psychology, when someone has a problem, psychologically we say that this problem sits on something. Okay, it's sitting upon something. Okay, when someone has an outburst with respect to an argument, and he starts cursing and he goes red in the face and he wants to, go wild. It's not necessarily because somebody offended him directly, and that's what disturbs him. It's because the person offended him, and he associates that with something in his past. It could be in his childhood that he was offended or he was afflicted, and then everything blows up at the same time. Okay,
but it's always like that. It's a reflection. It's always a reflection.
Yes, but the reflection is the reaction, so to speak, is based on something else, not necessarily that this was what hurt you. Because let's say, I take Dugma, Reuven and Shimon. Okay, I can offend Reuven, and he'll shy it off. He doesn't care. It doesn't disturb him. It doesn't disturb him because it doesn't sit on anything. He doesn't bring up something from his past, so he won't react to you. It could be his avodat hamidot. It could be he's cleansed himself psychologically, so it doesn't disturb him. Yet Shimon, I'll say the same thing to him, or I'll say 10% of what I said to Reuven. I'll say to Shimon, just 10%. But it's sitting on something that Shimon experienced in his past. He'll blow up. Okay, his reaction will be completely different and completely exaggerated. So, with respect to Korach, his nekudat machloket, what he's arguing about is here, but it's sitting on something below. What's he sitting on? What's disturbing him? Pride. Why does pride disturb him? Okay. Who's giving out leadership? Hashem. So what's his problem? It's with Hashem. So where's his problem? His emunah. His emunah that God is deciding who becomes king and who becomes priest. His emunah is disturbing him. He has got a chisaron, is lacking in his emunah.
But it's not really the kochev osem yadi. So he's rich, he's successful, he's smart, and he got confused.
I'm rich. I found money. I'm rich. I belong in the priesthood because I've got lineage like this. Yeah, kochev yadi. Yeah, but at the end of the day, yeah, he wants to be somebody who's been appointed to a certain degree. Yeah, he wants to be the mankal, he wants to be the CEO, he wants to be something. Now, who's appointing the next CEO? The previous CEO. So he's got a problem with the CEO who didn't appoint him. So here, who's the CEO? God. Right? Now he's saying, look, I'm Ra'ui, I deserve the job, so why are you not appointing me? So who's his problem with? His problem is with God. So his problem is with his emunah, because your relationship with God is based on your emunah. If you believe that you deserve something that wasn't given to you by God, then you have a problem with your emunah. Are you agreeing with me or not? Because I can't tell.
It's a...
What? Yeah, that's the problem. that is the problem. Why do I say that? Is because like this. Because if you believe in God appointing, okay, then you can't come and say, why didn't you appoint me? Because God appointed. But if you're going to say, I'm going to make myself, is that you're shoving God to the side and I'm going to appoint myself as king. So that is exactly what the problem is. Where does he lie? Does he lie on the fact that he's going to serve God properly and therefore God's going to appoint him? But God didn't appoint him and he doesn't want him. He knows who he is. He knows his lineage. He knows how much money he has in the bank and he can't keep it in a secret vault because God knows that. So where's Korach here? Where's he messed up? Where's he hasn't, he's not fitting in your Rubik's cube because something, the color's in the wrong place. Very good. Velotaturu. His problem is in Emunah. Where is his Emunah? Okay. Do you believe that God gave it out and therefore you need to shut up and accept what God gave out? Or is God not here and therefore you need to argue your point and win the elections?
No,
Go bash him in the face again. Why not? I know it's wrong. That's the problem. It's wrong.
He was Minuseh Aaron. He was like.
Very good. That's exactly the problem. You're an amazing madriga. Okay, you're Minuseh Aaron. How many people can touch the Aaron? Who can come close to the Aaron and touch it? You're on such a level. What's wrong? Where are you going? What are you doing? That's the problem. Very. Yeah, very good. Where's his desires? Where is it fitted in the right place? Is that where he's going? Right, but now I'm going to ask you this question. All right, where does his desire come from? From Lotaturu, right? If he was looking at his heart and what he should be looking at on the inside and then following his heart, what he's done is looking on the outside and he's making us follow that. Do you understand? He's gone in the wrong direction. If it's halech b'darkei libecha, then the lev is deciding and then he's going to pursue it. It's like somebody who has a strong desire to create something, okay? Like, let's say people who work in cancer research, okay? Their heart has a love for helping people. They want to sort out the problem and they'll pursue it really, really badly until they somehow break the mechanism and they create this medicine. When a person's heart isn't settled, it's not set, he's searching for where to put it. And he's looking for something, then he's like, sets a desire on something wrong. He sets a desire and then he is going after the desire and he'll go to death with it. He'll go to no man's land. You're right. When his desire is not settled because he hasn't put it in the right place, then he's giving the power and he's putting his power in the wrong direction. So yeah, you're right. When the man has a desire, he'll go with his desire to ends, even to death. So we're gonna conclude this point as Korach's problem is with respect to his emunah. His dargah, he was an old age, he had wealth, he had money, he had children, he had everything you needed. He even had prophecy that he knew his descendant would be Shmuel Hanavi, who was considered like Moshe and Aharon together. So he was 100% sure that he was correct because he had descendants, and his descendants were very great. So Korach, his downfall was based on his emunah. His emunah and his contradiction, his argument against God, so to speak. Let's look at Parshat Chukat. Okay, the Torah brings down Parshat Chukat, and it says, "Zot Chukat HaTorah." Now, it's Chukat is mentioned quite a few times in the Torah, and HaTorah is mentioned a few times. When God wants to talk about laws, he mentions it in the form of Chukah and he mentions it in the form of Torah. But here it's very strange. Zot Chukat HaTorah. this is the only time in the Torah that the two words are brought down together. And also this is discussed and argued about, what does it mean? And we explain like this. Zot chukat Torah shetziva Hashem lemor. Daber b'nei Yisrael speaks them, ve'yikchu elecha para aduma temima asher en ba'amum asher lo alea ol. Do as I say, X, Y, Z, go jump in the lake. Zeu. No explanations, no nothing. Why do I need to do this? What's the reason behind this? Go nicht mit nicht. Okay? As we say in Yiddish. Nothing with nothing. Now, the Yismach Yisrael says, what do you mean nothing with nothing? We've got a famous Rasha of Rabbi Moshe Adarshan, as Rashi also mentioned. He says, what do you mean? We've got plenty of reasons. Comes the para aduma, the cow is going to come and clean up the mess of the egel, of the calf. What's the cow? What's the calf? The calf is the cheta egel, and the cow is the para aduma. Okay. Famous question: when did you ever see a cow cleaning? Okay, maximum in like some Disney or some children's illustrated book of animal. I don't know. Yeah, I've never seen the cow clean. It can't hold a broom. It definitely can't do sponja or anything like that. Okay, it will never clean your windows. It will not do Hoover. Nothing. So what's cleaning? Do me a favor. What is cleaning? Anyone? Ma? What? Atoning. Okay. Elaborate. What? Get rid of impurity. You're still vague. Can you elaborate, please? Come on, guys. Elaborate. What's he cleaning? Yeah. Come on, guys. Where? Very good. Comes cleanse the egel, but that's the egel. The problem of the egel, and I hear where you're coming from, Avodah Zarah. Okay, fine. I'm going to tweak you a bit. Okay, a bit. What? Okay. You're nudging in the right direction. So, very good. Emunah. Who said that? Do you want a house point for that? Very good. Lo, Mehmet, kol hakavod. It's not simple, okay? And I'm going to explain to you why it's not simple. There's a pasuk in Dvarim, Yud Chet, Yud Gimel, in Parshat Shoftim. It says very simply like this. Tamim tihye im Hashem Elohecha. Tamim tihye im Adonai Elohecha. Be simple with God. Don't go crazy. Don't start asking questions, okay? Rashi says simply, just be simple.
But Tamim, it's not Shalem. It's not.
Yeah. Ola Temima.
Shalem is not necessarily.
Well, no, Ola
not
Temima.
Simple.
1 second. Ola Temima, yeah, is a Shalem. That's Shlemu. When you talk about something being Temima, yeah, the description of a person. I don't know what the English word for it is. When you're describing a chefetz, an entity, you describe it as temimah, then it's wholesome. When you describe an action can't be wholesome. It has to be doing something. How do you do something wholesome? You can't. So you do something simplicity. Do you understand what I'm saying? The entity is whole. Ola temima, bring a ola which is shalem, which is full, which is without blemishes. Okay, it's an item. Okay, it's a noun. It's a hefza. Okay, when you're talking about a peula, an action, an adverb, I think the word is, then it can't be. I'm doing something wholesome. What does that mean? You're doing something.
It's trustful, without a doubt.
Simple. When something is simple, it has no blemishes. If something is done in simplicity, then there's no complications. So the action is simple, but the item, the chefza, is whole. Okay. Rashi says, "Hitalech imo bitmimut." Go with him with simplicity. V'tetzapelo, wait for him, so to speak. Wait for him is not, it's not wait as in like stand waiting. It's like something that you want. You're when you're waiting for a gift, when you're waiting for your birthday, when you're waiting for something to happen, you're waiting with some form of with love or with feeling. Okay, it's a pelo, and you're waiting for him. Don't start making calculations what's going to be. Whatever comes, accept with love, with tmimut, with simplicity, and then you'll be on par with him. Okay? First klal in emunah, sheyeda ha'adam, man should know, she'eno tzarich lehavin et kol hana'aseh imo. You do not need to understand everything that's happening with you. Ve'eno yachol lehavin, what?
But you should aspire to.
You should aspire to what?
To understand.
You can understand why the guy hit you in the back of the car and it cost you money and he ran away. How do you understand everything? Do you understand why you became ill exactly on the day of your son's assembly? You can't understand everything. You can't understand what exactly. But you don't need to say, oh, look. Let's say there's some people that like make lots of calculations, like why this happened to me and why this happened to me. Why? You shouldn't question God. You need to go with him between more.
Questioning and trying to understand is not the same thing.
Fine. How are you going to understand something without a question? That was a question.
Yeah, but what do we do when we study and we do shim and we
question? That's exactly what you do. You question. What's your name? How old are you? Then you know the person. Yeah, what daf we're on, what we're learning, what Gemara, what Masechta, what line. You're questioning something till you find the answer. When you question God, why did this happen to me? You're questioning God. If
I'm questioning, I'm not questioning. It's not the same thing.
You're saying you want to divide. You want to say this is questioning. You want to search God. Okay. You want to understand where He's coming from.
Yes.
Okay. How do you do that without asking questions?
It's not about question. It's about the underlying motive. If it's about the underlying motive, it's like Rasha ma'u shoel v'chacham ma'u shoel. It's not the
very
same.
Very nice. But one second.
One
second. The tzaddik, the chacham, he asked the question.
Yes.
Now, what's the difference between his question and the Rasha's question?
First of all, is the association. So he associates himself.
He associates and he disassociates.
Yeah, but
very good. Exactly.
It's not the wording. It's about what is lying underneath.
Very good. So
when
now
you have no doubt, when you have tmimut underneath, then you can quest. It's the same question, but you quest. You don't question. It's not the same thing. Lidrosh velishol. It's not. Maybe I'm just sorry for interrupting, right? But it's not the same.
No. You're very correct in interrupting. Okay, okay. If you're going to just sit there and be then you're not going to learn anything because you're questioning or learning. It's perfectly fine, and I agree to what you're saying. It's very, very correct. When you question how things happen and why God gave it to you with respect to you being connected to God, then that's fine.
Yes.
Because you're connecting yourself like the Chacham. You're very correct in saying this. Okay?
So that's questioning. That's not questioning.
That's questioning in a correct manner.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if you want to call it a quest. I don't know, because I don't like the word quest. The quest is like a search for something. But when you're questioning, at the end of the day, God put. Very good. Okay. You're very good. Yud Chet, Yud Gimel, just before Chamishi, the last pasuk before Chamishi. Yud Chet Yud Gimel. That's the whole pasuk, and Rashi over there. When you associate yourself with God, when you're on par with Him and you want to find out why you're with Him or what He's doing, then you have a connection. When you're disassociating yourself with God, you are separating yourself, then you're questioning against Him. That's your lack of your mind. This is also a fundamental yesod, a fundamental foundation, source. No, I'm looking for a different word. Foundation. I don't know foundation. It's a rule. It's a klal in shalom bayis. Okay, when you have a discussion with your wife and you have a disagreement, when you have a disagreement that you want to come to an understanding between the two of you, then you come to true harmony. Okay, you can have a very, very, very fiery discussion about something and you can completely disagree on an item because you come from a different background or you have different understandings or different viewpoints. But when you want to come to an understanding that connects the two of you, then the connection becomes much closer. But when you're fighting over something because you don't want to agree and you're adamant on your position, then you're causing a distance between the two of you. This is the nekuda that you're saying, okay? When you're questioning to come closer to God, because what's He doing? Because what does He want from me? What's the next step of what I need to do? Then that's bringing you closer to God. But when you're questioning, why is He doing this to me? Why is He bothering me? Why is He causing me these problems? Why is He causing me trouble? Then that's distancing yourself from God. So here, the klal is, don't question God, as you're explaining, to separate yourself. Go with God b'tmimut. He wants this from me. Why does He want me to have this? Why is He not giving me a wage of £7 million a year? Why not? Because He doesn't want you to have £7 million a year. He only wants you to have 50,000. I have no idea. But that's what God wants from you. Then you're with God. You're not questioning why He did this, but you're asking, where is this leading me on to? Then that's correct. Very good. So the question of the Yismach Yisrael is what do you mean? How can you say that the mitzvah of para aduma is a chukah? We have a reason for it, and that is that the cow comes to clean up after the calf, after the egel. So, what do you mean? We have a reason. What's the reason? As you said, it's a tikkun of the emunah. Where's the problem in the emunah? So in Chet HaEgel, there's a pasuk in Shemot, in Chet HaEgel. I'm just going to open up for you in Pashat Ki Tisa. Elaborate. Yeah, fair. Next week's share is going to be given by Mega by 8:30. You do not need Skype.
Yeah, beautiful.
Very good, Maya. Why didn't you give share? Yofi. The pasuk in Parshat Ki Tisa, Lamed Bet Aleph, he says, "Vayar ha'am ki boshesh Moshe laredet min ha'ar." The people saw that Moshe is not coming back down. He went on holiday. He found a tzimar on the top of the mountain. He's not coming back down. Kanara, the jacuzzi is really good over there. Yeah. Vayakhel ha'am al Aaron, and the people, the nation, they congregated on Aaron. Vayomru elav, Kum aseh lanu Elohim, make a God for us, make a messenger between us and God. Asher yelchu lefanenu, who'll go before us. Ki zeh Moshe haish, this man Moshe, asher ha'elanu meretz Mitzrayim, he brought us out of Egypt. Lo yadanu ma yalo, we don't know where he is. Why do you care where he is? Since when do you have the right to ask, where's Moses? Okay, when until now did they ever ask, where's Moshe? When did they ever start questioning where he is? All of a sudden they need like a doch, they need a document of, came in, woke up at 6 o'clock, Went next, daven, had breakfast. What's your problem? Why is it now? Now we need to know where he is, because when he isn't here, then what's going to happen? You're going to be in the midbar. You have clouds. You have man. You have dry cleaning every day. You never have a shower in the last 40 years of your life. Now you care where Moshe is. What's wrong with you? Do you mean where's this? Where are you questioning? So the problem is they have a lack of their emunah. They're lacking in their emunah, and they're questioning where Moshe is. So God gives them a mitzvah. How do I make a tikkun, atone? How do I fix the problem of emunah? Is that I give you a mitzvah which is completely and utterly based on emunah. I asking you for a red cow, which isn't even red, it's brown. Okay? It can't have even two black hair. One black hair, beseder. Two black hairs, Allah halab. Okay? Not useful, okay? Can't work, not cross-eyed, no blemishes, no scratches, nothing, okay? Do you understand anything? Do I give you any reasoning? Nothing. It's completely based on emunah. God said jump, we jump. Okay? That fixes emunah. Now that's why
maybe that's another important context to understand why the two hit on the rock were so severe in that exact time when they had the problem of emunah. So actually, Mianul Agdisheni, when she actually, instead of speaking to the rock, Moshe hit it twice in that specific time. That maybe.
Yeah. It's a problem. I don't want to say this, yeah, but it's a lacking in Moshe Rabbeinu's emunah, so to speak, yeah.
No, it's not. It's not like emunah. It was just angry. It's not like it's not the same thing.
When he's hit the rock, he wasn't angry.
Oh, of course he was. Shimuna Amurim. It was that he was angry. It was not lack of emunah. It was just he got heated, fumed for a second, and that's it. No.
Yes.
No, not being able to conquer your anger.
Anger is a lack of emunah. It clearly says so in many svarim. I don't have to quote them to you, but I'm telling you, it's a lack of emunah. When you let's go back to the case of the parnasa, okay? The guy opens the shop next door to you, okay? Are you angry? You go mad, okay? You can go ballistic. But where's your emunah?
Your instinct can be to be angry for a second, then your brain will tell you, but actually, I understand that.
That's when your emunah kicks in.
And then you put everything in the right place.
But that's your emunah.
Yes.
And you don't have that emunah.
Yeah.
The man can go crazy. They can have war. They won't speak to each other. They'll be brothers and they won't speak to each other for 50 years. Okay? But that's because of the lack of the emunah. Because they don't, for some reason, no, parnas is not min hashamayim, it's from my shop. What are you talking about? Who brought you customers? Who gave you health that you should open your shop in the morning, bichlal? It's your emunah. Very good. There's no fear of God in this place. I can't even trust you that you have emunah. God isn't even here. So it's a lack of emunah. Anger is a lack of emunah. With respect to Moshe Rabbeinu and him hitting the rock, the Mefarshim explained because he was worried that there won't be enough of a Kiddush Hashem. Because if he speaks to the rock, maybe like it won't work. But if he gives it a wallop over the head, he'll crack it open and Akul Beseder. So I don't know if it's the same idea as anger. Maybe when we get to that parsha, maybe we'll discuss it. Yeah. Why is that lack of emunah? I want you to look at something like this. Okay, let's see. There are three people who are mentioned in the Torah as being humble of all people: Avraham Avinu, David HaMelech, and Moshe Rabbeinu. Okay, now Avraham Avinu, it says. I can't remember. I'm sorry. The quote of the pasuk. Avraham Avinu is a certain darga. He's considered like Efer. David HaMelech says he's a nemala. He's an ant. And Moshe Rabbeinu says he's Ter Anav Mikol Adam Asher Pnei Adama. Afar va'efer anochi. I'm dust. Okay. He's the king. He's ridiculously rich. He's ridiculously tall. He's exceedingly strong. His face shines like the sun. Okay. He knows every language on earth. He's the greatest Navi of all time. He has to write about himself in the Torah that he's the greatest Navi of all time. Okay. You cannot get more vain than Moshe Rabbeinu. But he was the most humble man on earth. That even somebody who has no basis for an argument makes an argument, he'll prostrate in front of him and say, I have done nothing wrong. I am not here to hurt you. Let's go to God and argue and sort out this problem. The man, he can literally, look, he's done it before. He literally buried a man alive with just saying God's name. He could have done it to Korach as well. Who are you to argue with me? I am the king. Okay? You are liable to death as a penalty, halacha in the Torah, when you argue against the king.
Yeah, כבודו של מוכר לא מחול.
לא מחול, נכון. And somebody who argues with the king is liable to death. So Korach came and argued against Moshe Rabbeinu. Who are you to make appointments? What do you mean? How can you even speak to me? I'm the king. He should have wiped him out there and then. What did he do? He prostrated himself in front of him. I am not here to hurt you. I have done nothing wrong. I've never hurt you. I've never taken anything from you. I brought you out of Egypt and I didn't even take tivuch. I didn't even take a percentage. Nothing. So it's not like, I don't look at it as, I might be wrong. You could be correct, yeah? Eli, you could be right. But I see Moshe prostrating himself in front of Korach as a form of him being humble. I don't think he's giving any form of acknowledgement to Korach at all. Okay? Eli? Thank you. Fine, so let's carry on here. So this mitzvah of para aduma is a tikkun of the emunah. Is tikkun of the emunah, because he's given a mitzvah that's completely not understood. So even if you don't understand and you're doing it, it's completely emunah. God said Aleph Bet Gimel, you're doing Aleph Bet Gimel. So that's why Chukah follows Korach specifically, because here it's a lack of emunah. He's questioning God with a lack of emunah, and now we're giving a mitzvah that's, so to speak, atoning the chet of the emunah of Chet HaEgel. And that's also why it's mentioned now and not beforehand. It's not after Shalach Lecha, because Shalach Lecha was a problem of Lashon Hara, and there you have a problem of Rotaturu in the end last parasha. But Korach is a machloket based on the lack of emunah. The second half of the parasha, even though it's not talking about it's talking about the Masrot and the what belongs to a Kohen and to a Levi, but that's only because God is reiterating Aharon being the chosen priest. So technically, it's not like a separate parasha to Korach. It's so to speak, it's nischaf. It's added on. It's not an entity of its own like Tsitsit. So therefore, Chukah is connected to Korach because of the basis of correcting the emunah in the lack of the emunah in Parashat Korach. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Laila Tov, everyone. Thank you. Laila Tov. Bye.